Hi, welcome back. Welcome me back. I haven't made a video in a while. I remember the last time, I think I made a video on like fucking Animal Crossing or something. Who the fuck cares about Animal Crossing? Animal Crossing fucking sucks. Who plays this shit? Babies? Today we're gonna talk about a real video game, okay? Today we're gonna be talking about a real damn video game franchise, okay? None of that Nintendo baby shit, okay? None of that Animal Crossing. Today we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. I consider my love for Sonic the Hedgehog a disability, because it genuinely, like, inhibits my ability to do day-to-day tasks. It's crippling. But there's a new Sonic game out. The Sonic Superstars.
I don't give a fuck if I go blind. I don't need to see the price tag anyway. I'll kill you, you stupid piece of shit.
Let's start a few years back with the announcement of Sonic Mania. When Sonic Mania was first announced, I was skeptical, to say the least. Sega had previously fumbled every previous attempt at making a genuine successor to Sonic 3 and Knuckles up until that point, so I just assumed Mania would be no different. And after seeing Green Hill Zone brought back, I had little hope. I expected the game to just port over several old zones, with one or two new ones sprinkled in. I know it sounds cynical, but I tend to approach Sonic with a lot of caution, especially at this point, considering the last game was Sonic Lost World.
What the fuck is this?
You ruined my nail art.
I am so sorry.
Oh, well, in that case...
Oh no, what I meant to say is, I'm so sorry that you have nothing more important to do in life.
What is bro cooking? What is bro on about? Why bro acting like this? Why is bro... Is he stupid? Sonic, you can't fucking say that! Of course, once Sonic Mania released, I fell in love with it. As literally everyone else did. Despite bringing back old levels, all of them featured completely unique level design in their second acts. And the first acts were always touched up and beautiful too. Like, enough to make them still feel unique and special and not like you're just retreading old ground. And the game ended up being just absolutely gorgeous overall, with some of the greatest sprite art in gaming, and I am not exaggerating with that. This game is beautiful. Everything here looks gorgeous. Sonic Mania was, in every respect, Sonic the Hedgehog 4. This was the sequel to Sonic 3 that we had been waiting for all these years. It was, without a doubt. And yeah, the game wasn't perfect. I obviously wish the game had more unique levels. Of the 25 acts we were given, 8 of them still heavily reused shit from previous Sonic games, and most of the enemies and gimmicks and bosses are all, like, from other games. And I don't think that makes the game bad, but it did make me start really craving another Sonic game that had more unique elements. I also just wish that the game felt like more of an evolution of Sonic 3's gameplay and less of just a continuation of the same formula. Like, Sonic 2 felt like it built on Sonic 1, Sonic 3 felt like it built on Sonic 2, but this game doesn't really feel like it builds on Sonic 3, it just feels like it was made in the same formula as Sonic 3. And I really wish that the next game would really expand on this formula and really add some new things, and in June of 2023, we were finally shown Classic Sonic's next big step. I don't think this is the right trailer. My first impressions of this game were, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I didn't think this game looked very good. The aesthetic just felt overly cutesy to me. We only saw like 3 zones, all of which didn't speak to me on any level, and the level gimmicks looked bizarre. They didn't feel classic Sonic-y to me, and I know it sounds stupid, but like at the time I just wasn't vibing with the game. It also felt like multiplayer was being really pushed here, and while I don't think that's a problem, I don't really play Sonic games for multiplayer, so it wasn't something that spoke to me. But you know, maybe this is gonna be made by the team who made Sonic Mania, you know? Arzest, that sounds familiar. But what did they... I was not that excited for this game. But time has passed. I have grown. I have played Sonic Superstars. And Sonic Superstars is without a doubt Sonic the Hedgehog 5. It isn't perfect. There's some jank here. There's some weird audio mixing. There's some bullshit in this game, and a couple questionable design choices, and a lot of shit, but there also isn't like every other fucking Sonic game. This is like par for the course, guys. What? Are we actually like dogpiling on a Sonic game for having weird audio mixing? Have you played Sonic Adventure 2? Have you played Sonic Adventure 2? Like for real, like all of the issues that I hear about this game are like nitpicks. Like, yeah, Sonic Mania didn't have these issues, but like, y'all were fucking spoiled with that game. Like, this game is fucking fine.
¿Quieres?
First of all, this game perfectly translates Sonic's physics from Mania. Christian Whitehead confirmed this. This is a huge deal, as this has consistently been the sole issue with a lot of attempts to make new classic Sonic in 2.5D. Sonic 4, Sonic 4 Episode 2, Sonic Generations, and even the Sonic Advance games, which were also sprite-based, had issues. Glaring, huge issues translating the physics over, and it was the main reason why these games just don't live up to the classic Genesis games. And having these physics, we are halfway there to having a good game. It's not like the game on top of that sucks, the game on top of that is good. Genuinely, I mentioned that my biggest issue with Sonic Mania was the fact that we didn't get new zones, and the fact that it didn't feel like it built off of or evolved on Sonic 3's formula, but this game really feels like it does. First of all, the Chaos Emeralds give you these powers that you can use in the levels, and while some of them don't really feel like they're that helpful, it is a really cool little feature that like reminds me a lot of like playing through like a Sonic Adventure game, where it was like you would get like upgrades to your character as you go through the level. And it's not like the Wisps where it's like you can only use it in like these very specific scripted parts. It's like you can use them whenever you want. The game also has some zones that only feature one act, and it has some zones that feature 3. And I actually really like this. It makes it so the game feels more split up with its pacing. It doesn't feel like as monotonous, it doesn't feel as repetitive. It feels like some zones are quite long, but then like you have another zone that's like just an act and it's very fast paced to kind of like give you a refresher. It's something that I think that a game like Sonic 3 could have actually really utilized, because I think that game is paced really badly. I feel like, especially at the beginning of Sonic 3, you have a lot of zones that are just like really long, and it's just long zone after long zone, and it could have really used a little bit of quicker zones to kind of like pace it better. There's also 5 playable characters in this, which is really fucking cool, and some of them even have complete acts dedicated to them. Having full entire acts that take full advantage of a character's abilities is incredibly smart, and I'm surprised that it's taken them this long to do it. It's stuff like this that really makes this game feel like an evolution of Sonic 3. It feels like a progression, it feels like the next step. It doesn't feel like, hey, here's another game built in the same formula as Sonic 3. It feels like the next Sonic game. It feels like a step forward, and I think it's good. I think it's solid. I think that this is one of the better AAA 2D platformers that I have played recently, and I've since warmed up to how the game looks. I know that I thought it was overly cutesy before, but looking at it since, well, I think that this lines up pretty well with the type of Sonic game we would have gotten on the Sega Saturn, and seeing as this is a follow-up to Sonic 3 and Sonic Mania, that fits pretty well. I will say some of the visuals look...
See that? That's real. That's real garbage.
But I think that's more of a visual fidelity thing and less of a art style thing. And I also think the soundtrack sounds a little unfinished when it comes to certain songs.
Honey, just show it to them.
I do wish that Sega allowed RSS to have more time to polish the game up, though. I really feel like this isn't the final product that they wanted to put out, but it's what we got, and I still think that it's really good at the end of the day. My biggest gripe, though, with this game is the bosses, and I know that I'm sure many of you have heard this already, because this is like a thing that a lot of people have been bringing up, but yeah, the bosses in this game are horrible. So in a lot of classic Sonic games, you can just repeatedly wail on a boss over and over again, and if you know what you're doing, you can usually get rid of them really quickly, but if you don't, it can usually take a bit. And in a lot of ways, this actually fits Sonic really well, I feel, because the more familiar you are with the game, the faster you're able to go, the faster you're able to defeat the boss. On the other hand, Sonic Superstars doesn't have bosses like this at all. You're like spending a bunch of time waiting for the boss to do their attacks. You're given an opportunity to attack maybe once, and then you have to wait again for the boss to do their attack again. Rinse and repeat. It's awful. And it gets rid of a core aspect of the game design of the 2D Sonic games. And I don't get why they did this. I don't get why they did it in some of the Sonic Advance games, in the Sonic Rush games, in Sonic 4. Like, in here, I also don't understand why they did it. It's bad. It's not good game design, and they have to stop fucking doing it. I will kill Arzest. All in all, Sonic Superstars is a good game. It's a good 2D Sonic game, and I think it's a good 2D platformer. I think that, like, anyone who has played a 2D Sonic game before and was a fan should pick it up when it goes on sale. Do not buy this game for $60. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. It looks fine, and it plays fine, and it's, like, has enough content to be $40 or $30, not $60. Do not pay $60 for this game. It'll absolutely go on sale, like, sometime in the future, I'm almost certain, because Sonic games always do. And if you are on the fence and you've never played Sonic before, play Sonic Mania. Like, go play Sonic Mania right now. It's probably like $2 fucking. You can get the game for super cheap. Just fucking play it. Play Sonic Mania. And if you don't want to play Sonic Mania because you're being a little bitch, play Sonic 3 or play Sonic Adventure 2 right now. Play it. This isn't like me giving you like a nice little recommendation. I'm telling you, play that fucking game. Play it. Please. I'm gonna throw up if you don't. Well, I guess this video's over. I don't know what to do next. So if you have any ideas, let me know. And thanks for watching the video. Bye.